Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be here today. As you guys can see from the title, we are going to be doing an eyeshadow tutorial, kind of eyeshadow 101. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the brushes that I use, some extra products that can help you out, and I'm going to take you guys through a step-by-step tutorial with our new Glam Up palette, which is just absolutely stunning. It's perfect for everyday wearable kind of neutral colors. We've got these really pretty gold, pinkies, nice browns in there as well. So if you guys are ready to get into this tutorial, just stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You guys, it does help me out a ton. I love getting these videos out. That way I can share and kind of help as many people as I possibly can. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty, you guys, so I have you all zoomed in. I just have one eye completed. That way you can see what kind of look we're going for today. I'm going to show you guys how I did it step by step, what colors I used. But really quick, I want to go over a couple foundational things that do really help with kind of the beginning stages of learning how to do eyeshadow. So first things first, as you can see, I have the entire rest of my face done. In my opinion, when you are a beginner with eyeshadow, it is easier to start with a clean lid. I put some concealer on my lid that I matched with underneath my eye, and then I did set it with a light layer of powder. That way I have a smooth, easy, blendable surface to work with my colors. I think that when you are a beginner, it's sometimes really difficult to work with a wet base. Eyeshadow primers are great, and I think if you are super new to eyeshadow, you should start with something like this with your base set and no tacky underneath, because having a tacky base, I feel like, in my opinion, is more of an intermediate level. Like, you have to work with the shadows in a different way to get them to blend out. So first things first is that. Next thing is get yourself some brushes that work for you. They do not have to be super expensive. They don't have to be brand name. They can be any type of brush that works for you. The brush that I'm going to be using today, I'm just using one brush, is actually from Wet n Wild. This is one of their fluffy blending brushes. I literally think, you guys, these are like $1.99. They're super affordable. You can get them, I'm pretty sure, anywhere Wet n Wild is sold. So at your local grocery store or drugstore, or you can even go directly to their website. I have about 5 or 6 of these on hand that I switch between, but I really like this. I think it's a nice medium-sized blending brush. Fits in the crease and fits my eye shape really well. But Amazon also has some good choices as well. You can get 15, 16 set brush sets for, I don't know, $8, $9, $12. So just find some brushes that work for you. They don't have to be super expensive. They don't have to be name brand. Of course, you do get what you pay for. Sometimes if you buy something super cheap, it may not perform, and that's okay. Just move on to the next thing. It sometimes takes a couple tries to find something you like. The other thing that I recommend people having, whether you're any level of eyeshadow expert, so to speak, is a color switch product. So that means a type of product that will give you the ability to use one brush for an eyeshadow look, but be able to switch between colors. So if you guys have seen other people use those tins that kind of have that weird material in there that they swirl their brush in, it kind of takes off the pigment. That's a color switch product. In my daily use, I like to use this one. This is actually by Sonia Kashuk. This is the Makeup Brush Cleansing Spray. It's a rose water scent. They only have one scent. But this is a dry brush quick switch product. So I can spray this brush I can spray this spray directly on my brush onto a towel, clean the pigment off, and then have the brush be dry and ready to use. This is an amazing product, you guys, and they're like $9 at Target. They're super affordable. Might be different depending on where you're located. Sometimes products are different prices based on location. So those are the two things I want to mention today. I want to show you guys a tutorial with Farmasi's, one of their new eyeshadow palettes. So we're going to be using the Glam Up palette by Farmasi. I'll show you guys the inside here. It is absolutely stunning. These colors are so usable on the day-to-day. Nice warm tone, versatile palette. Now, do you have to have this exact palette to make this look? Absolutely not. If you have eyeshadows laying around that you like, you basically just need some nice brown shades that you can kind of create a little bit of dimension with. And like I said, we're going to be creating this look here that's already on my eye. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. So the first color that I'm going to be using is this shade over here. This is called Buff, we are going to take our eyeshadow brush here, just grab a little bit of product, and we are going to go ahead and start to lay this in our crease. This is what we call a transition shade. It's a nice neutral, most of the time some type of brown shade that you can put in your crease in order to add some more products and just kind of create a nice neutral foundation that you can create pretty much any look with. You can also use nice pinkies. There's a really pretty shade in this palette called Dusty Rose here, which is at the top. That's a great one to use as a transition shade as well. It just depends what look you're going for, but today we're going to use Buff. And as you can see, I'm just taking a little bit of product and I am just gently doing little circles towards the inner part of my eye, but then making these nice windshield wiper motions, just back and forth, back and forth. And when you guys are using your eyeshadow brushes, you want to make sure to hold your brush kind of down at the end. You want to have a good grip on it, but you don't want to be holding it so tight that the tips of your fingers turn white. You want to relax, just hold it gently. That way you have nice control. And we're just going to flick this color back and forth in windshield wiper motions, just like this, back and forth, back and forth. Super easy motion. You want to create muscle memory, so the more you make this motion, the easier it's going to get, the more your body is going to remember how to do it. So it does take practice, but I'm just really laying that color down. I'm going in a little bit at a time. You'd rather take your time and kind of build up that product than add a bunch of it and have to worry about trying to tone it down. So we've added that shade into the crease. You almost on camera can't even tell that I have anything there, and that's totally okay because it is going to deepen up. Just going to add a little bit more here. So now that we've added Buff and we've really buffed it out, see what I did there? We are going to go into this deeper shade here in the middle of the palette. This is called Warm Teddy. As you can see, it's quite a different shade. It almost has like a red undertone, but in person it is a nice kind of deeper dark brown with a little bit of red in there. I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade as well and keep this in the same spot. We're going to put this in the crease. Same type of motion here. Hold your brush kind of towards the end. And then we're just going to make these really nice fluid windshield wiper motions back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then once I've added most of the color to my crease, I'm going to lightly kind of lift my brush, take it outside the crease just a little bit, just enough to kind of add some of that color. Just back and forth, back and forth. And these shadows really are super beginner friendly. They're really easy to blend. They're very pigmented, and I think that a lot of people can find use out of these, especially this palette itself. Like I said, this has a lot of those nice neutral browns, this nice shimmer shade that we have on the lid here we're going to be doing as well, and I'm loving it. I think it's a nice look. Now, of course, I've glammed my look up by adding a super bright red lip and a false lash that'll obviously match on this eye here, but if you're just going to work or even just going to the grocery store, want to feel a little bit put together, just throwing on some mascara will tone this look down a little bit and it'll make it really wearable for every day. I'll also kind of talk about how you can make this a matte look as well. So we have that Warm Teddy in the crease. We've kind of built that up. You can see the crease color here. It's kind of gotten a little bit darker, which is totally fine. Now we're going to focus more on the outer part of the eye here. I'm going to take the shade Ashes, which is on the very last row here. It's a nice cool toned brown shade, a little bit darker than Warm Teddy. And we're actually just going to make little teeny tiny circles on the outer third of our eye. So I'm not taking that into the crease like I did before. I'm just really focusing that towards the outer part of my eye. When you keep the darker shades towards the outer part of your eye, depending on the shape that you're going for, it can really pull your eye out and up and really make your eyes nice and lifted, which for people who have hooded eyes, like I do myself, focusing those darker colors on the outside really do help. So we're just making little teeny tiny circles right on the outer third, and then in kind of like a V shape or a sideways A, I'm just dragging the rest of that product onto the kind of the lash line to create a nice kind of pulled out effect. So you can see how that outer part there has gotten a little darker, and then you can kind of blend in that shade with the rest of the colors in your crease. I just don't want to take that dark shade all the way across. And I've not cleaned off the color on my brush at all. I'm using the same brush and I'm going in with all these colors, just one right after another. So the next step here is to add the shimmer shade. So I'm actually going to use my finger for this. We're going to take the shade Nefertiti at the top of the palette here. It's this really stunning gold shade that we have. I'm just going to take my index finger and starting at the inner part of my eye, I'm just going to add this to my lid. I'm going to try not to get any shimmer in my crease, but if it happens, that is okay. But I'm really just focusing this color on the crease. And oh my gosh, this color is so pretty. It's so shimmery and so creamy. Most of the time with shimmer shades, I feel like you have to use a flat brush. You got to get it wet with setting spray to make it any type of really super creamy, shiny, but these are so great. And some shades you have to do that with, and that's okay. But I like a nice, wet, creamy shimmer shade that I can just smack on with my finger. Now, you can literally just take this Nefertiti shade or any type of shimmer shade that you have. Just take your finger, put it all over your lid, kind of smudge it in the crease a little bit, add some mascara, and you're out the door. But I wanted to show a little bit more complex of a look. Same thing with this. If the shimmer is too much for where you work or you don't feel like having kind of that glossy finish to it, you can actually take this buff shade here, which is what we put in our crease, and just put that all over the lid, just kind of pack it on, and you can keep this eye look nice and matte if you'd like to. But I wanted to add some shimmer. It is the holidays, and I just love a nice gold. So now we're going to go back to our brush. We're going to go back into that shade Ashes, and we're just going to kind of meld these two shades together, because we don't want to necessarily be able to tell when someone looks at us where the gold starts and where the gold ends and the brown starts, or vice versa. You really want that to be nice and seamless. So I just added a little bit more there. And that is it, you guys. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So easy. So I'm going to take this same brush that I'm using, just swirl it on my towel, not adding any product to it. And I'm actually going to go in with Magnolia here at the top. This is a matte, kind of like creamy white shade. And I'm going to take this and actually just kind of buff out the edges at the top. Really make sure that they are nice and blended. And adding a nice cream neutral shade like that will kind of diffuse the edges a little bit if you need to. If you got a little bit crazy, if one of your colors went up just a little bit too high, using a creamy shade like this to diffuse that works really, really well. So that's it, you guys. We just used those 5 colors. You can add a little bit of shimmer to the inner corner if you'd like to. I used Gold Tail, which is up in the top row as well. You can even take your pinky finger and you can add that to the inner corner. I used a brush, but you can use your finger as well. You don't necessarily want to use this brush because it does have darker shades on it, and you don't want to put that darker color in your inner corner. You want this to be nice and bright, but see how you get that little bit of shine there? I just think that that's so, so pretty. So this is a little harsh for me. I just went back in with buff, and I'm kind of buffing these shades out here just to kind of make them nice and seamless, just like that. So just to recap really quickly, we started with buff here. We did that in the crease. We warmed it up with a little bit of warm teddy, and then on the outer corner, we used Ashes to kind of pull our eye out and up. And then we took Nefertiti on the top and on the lid here, and then we used Gold Tail in the inner corner. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. Afterwards, I did kind of like a smoked out wing liner, which I will do on this eye as well, but I'm going to save that for another day. So I will finish the liner on this side, apply my false lash, and I'll come right back to show you guys the finished look and kind of recap everything for you. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, we are back, and this is the finished look all together with both eyes done, liner, lashes, the whole kabam. So I hope you guys can go through and watch this video a couple times, get some helpful tips from it, kind of help you start your eyeshadow journey, whether you're just picking back up after a long break or you're starting eyeshadow from the very beginning. I just want to encourage you guys, makeup is an art. It is a creative outlet. It kind of helps you cover up some of those insecurities and just play whatever the reason is you're using makeup, just give it time. It takes practice. And I just want to encourage you to keep going. Even when looks turn out bad, you guys, sometimes it happens and you're just not happy with it, and that's totally okay. It's removable. Just take it off and start over again. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Please give it a like if you enjoyed. Also comment. Let me know if you guys have this palette, what your favorite eyeshadows are, what your favorite brushes are. Tell me some of those things down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. All of those things really help my channel out. I would appreciate it. Of course, as always, if you guys are interested in grabbing this palette from Farmasi, my link and all my information will be in the comments below, the description box below. If you guys are interested in joining my team, I would love to hear from you and help you out. I'm always looking for women who are ready to encourage others and show them how to use makeup, or maybe you just want to join to use it and help yourself learn more. Whatever the reason is, I'm here for you guys, and I would love to help you achieve some success. So I hope you guys have a great, blessed day. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video, and I will see you guys next time. Mwah.